Hello, my name is Don and welcome back to another episode of Follow My Rangers Let's Play on Football Manager. Today we are playing Motherwell in the William Hull Scottish Cup 5th round tie. Now I was going to record the Aberdeen game which played just before this, but I thought, you know what, we've not recorded a cup game since Alkmaar. This game is just round the corner. We've already recorded an Aberdeen game this season. It was Aberdeen as well, if I remember correctly. Let's just go with the cup game. So here we are. We're going to start with transfer history. Now there is a bit of news. I need to scroll down for miles here. All these players going out. We've got Ryan Hardy's on loan at Motherwell, the team we placed today. I don't believe he can play us. Josh Windass on loan at Millwall. And Gordon Greer sadly has terminated his contract. We agreed it was 20k that we paid. He was unhappy, wasn't getting first team football. I sort of managed to calm him down. The first time we gave him a couple of games he dropped it. The next time he asked, he's sort of like, okay, Sasso's in fine form, I'll accept it. And then just after the Aberdeen game he was like, listen, I want to leave. And I said, okay, fair enough. And he agreed to a contract termination for 20k, which actually saves the club a bit of money. It's a shame to see Greer go, but to be honest, the decline he had just meant he couldn't get any games for us. I mean, when you look at stats on paper, he's brilliant, but the pace was the big problem. We conceded a few goals from over the top balls, and Sasso's an intercept master. I'll show you that in a bit. But Greer, the over the top balls that came on Greer's side, Greer's just running, and the guy's just gone. And even the slow guys were gone, so it was an issue. And Michael Devlin formed a really good partnership with Sasso. So sadly, only got 8 games for the club he loves. It's a shame. He does still support us, so I guess we can't complain too much. But we wish him all the best. In the ends, so we start with Kazia Sterling. I've probably butchered your name. I do apologise. He comes in from Spurs, paying a fair chunk of money to get this guy. 4.7k per week plus 20k if he's not playing. And the problem is he's not going to play a whole lot. I'm going to try and give him one game a month to see if that triggers not to pay the 20k. I don't actually really know how to check, though that's a problem. We also brought in João Felix from Benfica, part of that Portuguese 2017 Under-16s Championship winner. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the actual competition name because, yeah, there you go. There's the competition they won anyway. So I do apologise for not even trying to pronounce it, but there's just no chance I'm ever going to get it right. This was also the guy who I tried to sign at the start of the season, and Benfica came back and said, no, we want 31 million. And I was just like, okay, there's no chance the deal was getting done. Predominantly going to play in the central attacking midfielder role, but if you actually look at his form, I think form is the one that tells you, he's came off the bench twice and he's played 2 different positions. He's came off the bench 3 times and he's only played in the position that I bought him to play him once. He's still getting used to the tactics, obviously. I'll probably give him this game today. Matt Grimes also comes in on loan. I think this is a bit of a mistake, to be honest. I've probably overpaid a little bit with 5k a week, 28k when he's playing and 34k when he's not. And to be honest, in the games he's played, I am not convinced. I brought him in because of I find that we're being stifled going forward without McGinn. Excuse me, and even with Halliday coming in, that's not really changed. It's been a bit of an issue for us, to be honest, and I'm not really sure how to fix it. After that, we've got 5 young players that come in. Martin A. Smith was arranged by the head of youth development. He went and made the offer, so I'm not exactly sure on all the details of this transfer. About 46k with rising to 135k, but overall, fairly decent young player. Will do well as a right wing. I don't think he'll ever be a first team right winger with us, but more than good enough to be a solid backup option. Of course, he could develop more than I anticipate and become a first team option. Second up, we have Colin Grant, who joins us from Inverness Cali for 60k, rising to 80k. I can't remember. I think this is actually maybe some daft goals contract or something like that. I can't actually remember the full details of the transfer. Is there any way to actually click it? No. Okay, never mind. Again, okay, young player that can come in, 17 years old. Determination isn't the best, so I'm a little bit worried about him developing a little bit, but overall gives us another option on the left hand side that can develop and hopefully rival Chris Willock in the future. Scott Martin for 375k, rising to 450k, comes in from Hibs. Sort of defensive minded midfielder, fairly decent. I think probably got him for about the right price as well. He is 20, so might not develop as much as we would like. But can rival Jack Thompson and Jordan Rossiter for that position. And 3.2k a week isn't brilliant, but for a player that's still developing, but you know, I'll take it. He does have 16 passing as well, which is phenomenal. He is cup tied for today. Next up, we've got a double header from Dundee. We have Brian Davidson, first of all, for 160k, rising to 195k. Again, I think a lot of the clauses for this might not actually get triggered. He is out. He was injured for about 3 months when I signed him, but I need a long-term replacement for Lee Wallace. There was one other option, a guy from Kilmarnock, who many of you will know is Greg Taylor. I went up and I said, listen, do you want to do a deal? Initially made an inquiry and he said no chance. I said okay, put in a offer. I can't remember how much that offer was for, and they responded 14.5 million. Even negotiating it down, I couldn't have got it in my budget, and even if I could have negotiated it down and had the budget, really, I'm going to be able to negotiate it down to about 8 million at best, and 8 million for a developing left back that might not make it is not where this club needs to be spending money right now. We do not have that kind of money to be throwing about. We're not in the Champions League. We've failed to get into the Europa League this year. Well, we failed at the qualifier stage anyway to get into the Europa League this year. Financially, we just don't have the money to do that. Celtic do, we don't. So we needed to be a bit more prudent, so I found this guy. Fairly happy overall. He does have decent stats. It's difficult to really look at his stats right now and know what's good and what's bad, mostly because he's on huge decline because of this injury. Once he gets back from injury, we can see how he develops. Again, it's only 190k really if it goes wrong. I don't want to be wasting money, but we'll see. I just seen Ross McCrory was still at the club. I was just curious to see how he's developing. He's not going to stay at the club past the end of the year, I don't think, anyway. And then the big signing at the end of the window is a boy from Dundee again, 850k, rising to 950k. Some of that 850k is spread over 48 months. I had to pay a bit more than I would like to have arranged that, but it was the only way I was ever going to get it in within my transfer budget. And this guy, 16 years old, 11 passing worries me a little bit, but everything else for an advanced playmaker is okay. 17 teamwork, 14 vision, 11 technique is meh. 8 decisions and 8 flares a bit meh, but that'll develop. You know, he's 16 years old. 5-star potential, and should develop to at least 4-star. 15 first touch, 13 composure. This guy could have the world at his feet. We've signed him for £1 million basically, and really, if he develops like I hope, he could be a £20 million player. I'm not saying he will be a £20 million player, I'm saying he could be. I'm not sure what 5-star level is for us yet. We are competing with Celtic fairly nicely, and they obviously have sold a lot of players for big money in the last 2 seasons. I can go through that. In fact, I will go through that. But before I do, one staff change to say is Luke Anthony's came in as a physio. We had a couple of physio spaces, so I just brought an extra one in on advice from my staff. We do have very good staffing overall, just tactical coach that's not the best in the league. What's these 2 spaces? I'm not allowed any more scouts, surely, unless they've upped the scouts I'm allowed. No, they haven't, so it must be like a data analyst and a director of football. Okay, that doesn't matter too much. Yeah. I don't like me and directors of football do not get along. and the data analyst. It doesn't change if you have 1 or 50, so as far as I'm aware anyway, so I'll keep the 1, thank you very much. But again, even with the tactical coaches, we are well above average. Celtic are slightly better than us, and I think it's Davy Weir who's doing that at the minute, because I couldn't get a tactical coach that would come in and be 4-star, so I brought in a defensive coach, moved Davy to that, and moved myself onto attacking, and that's how we've ended up with this system. So yeah, Celtic transfers, so let's go to home Celtic, just a wee quick peek at the league table. Try not to look, I'm going to come to that in a minute. So not staff, all transfers. So yeah, if you look at their season here, 8 million, 8 million rising to just under 12, 2 million rising to just under 3, 5, well just over 5 rising to just under 7, 7.5 rising to just under 13. That's a lot of sales. 23 million rising. They've not spent really any money coming back in. I would like to see their balance sheet, particularly when they've had European football in the last couple of seasons as well. As well as I think they've probably cut their wage budget a little bit. Ambrose out, Izagiri out. There's some decent players out on away, and Derek Boyata, imagine to get a move to Birmingham. Not quite Blackburn, sorry. Not quite sure how they've pulled that one off. So the league table. Let's get to the league table, right? So we are 1 point behind Celtic, 1 point above Hibs, and we have a game in hand to both. We win that, we go 2 clear Celtic and 4 clear of Hibs, which would be a great position to be in at this stage. Our game in hand, I believe, is to St Johnstone, who are bottom of the table, but have been a bit of a bogey team for us. Little bit concerning, but we can develop on this. Overall, to the team details, we will just have a quick look at average attendance by capacity. We really could get a stadium upgrade if we have the finances to do it, and that's the only issue that's stopping us right now. And that would put us on a course to compete with Celtic a bit more. Net spend, only Celtic and Kilmarnock are spent have gained more than us. Obviously only a couple of teams in Scotland are actually expending a bit of money here. Celtic obviously with all those big sales that I just mentioned, and Kilmarnock sold Greg Kilty, who I was monitoring. I was waiting just to see if a deal could ever be done, and Liverpool came in with 5 million. I can't match that. I couldn't have, even if I could have, I probably couldn't have matched the wages that Liverpool could have offered. And he's going to be a rotation with Barry Mackay, so it sort of worked out well for him. And obviously we got Maitland-Niles in on a free transfer at the end of last season. Hearts are the biggest spenders in the league. Hibs, they just brought in a player we were monitoring for a good while, Jai Quitongo. They decided to pay the 375k that I said I wasn't paying. He stayed on a rolling contract with Morton, which was a bit frustrating. Unless that's maybe a new feature in Football Manager where players don't leave if they're under the age of 24, so that it forces clubs to pay the compensation. Because I do remember I was able to, for a number of years, you were able to wait until they just left the club and then compensation wouldn't be paid. In real life, compensation was still paid. Jason Holtz at Rangers is an example of that. Salary, we're about 8 million right now, which is okay. It's about 1.7 million cheaper than last year, and Joey Barton swallowed up about 1 million of it himself, and his contract's obviously up at the end of this year. Yeah. As soon as that happens, I will be renegotiating contracts with a lot of our players, because we will no longer have that big 20 grand a week player that they can aspire to be. A lot of our big players' contracts are up next season as well, which is an issue. I don't mind having a lot of like 8 to 12 grand players. Right now we've got one at 12, a couple at 8, and everyone else is less than that, and all wanting pay rises. And a big problem with that is Joey Barton is in the squad. Stadium sellouts, we are second with 4, but again, headers won only 56%. This really surprises me, particularly when you look at our defence. Sasso wins a monstrous amount by himself. I will go into individual stats quickly. Appearances, games on, red cards, all these stuff aren't relevant. Goals, we're now second in that chart. Joey Garner's had a really rough patch. As you can see, he's got 16 in 4 less games than Jason Cummins though. And if you look at it, half the shots, that is actually insane. He's had 40 shots and scored 16 goals, in 23 appearances to Jason Cummins' 27, 87 shots and 17 goals. I believe Jason Cummins might actually have that shoot from range, shoot from distance trait, which I would take off him. I don't even know he definitely had that, but the reason why I thought he had that is because when we played Hibs, he was shooting from absolutely everywhere. I actually looked at signing Jason Cummins last year. It was going to cost about 1.2 million, and I said no, thank you. Some regret, not really. When you say he's top goal scorer, yeah, there is some regret. But when you look at the amount of shot difference and the minutes to goal ratio, I'm happy with Garner right now. Shots on target, Maitland-Niles and Chris Willock bossing that. Joe Garner not far behind either, so it's good to see 3 other guys in top 5. The worry is we're not creating a lot of chances without John McGinn, thinking Jason Holt, but that's not correct. Team goals isn't right. Key passes, Andrew Dozzetto ahead there. Joe Garner, who I feel has been really poor, like either scores 2 goals in a game or has a 6.4 rating. That is literally the polarisation of Joey Garner in this season. But apparently he's got a lot of key passes. Maitland-Niles up there as well. Anyone else in the top 20? Nope. Pass completion. Let's have a look at that, because we do have quite a passing style. So Rossiter, again, look at this. McGinn, 88%. Creating 10% of chances from that as well. Rossiter actually creates more chances with 90%. So when you put those two in the midfield together, it works really well for us. Craig Sibbald, another player I looked at last year, I just didn't think he was going to get the game time for us, as well as Fraser 5, Mark O'Hara and Paul McGowan. Sort of been recommended to me by staff, but I've ignored them. Jordan Thompson, nice to see him up there as well. He's not maybe developed as much as I like to have this year, but still okay. This was the role I was playing him on. Again, you can see the dribbling's a big issue there. 7 dribbling. Just not good enough for a player in that position, unfortunately. Other relevant stats that we should see before we go into the goal. Mistakes leading to goals. Joey Barton's still up there with his 1 appearance. Scott Bain, unfortunately, disappointing to see that, but obviously it happens for goalkeepers, as you can see. Rob Elliott and Owen Fon Williams both up there as well, with slightly more both goalkeepers as well. I'm not sure, there may be other goalkeepers up there, but I'm not sure who other goalkeepers. I think Kubali is a goalkeeper actually. Yes, he is. I was right. So there's 3 goalkeepers at least above him. Robbie McCrory right underneath as well, with 11 mistakes. Only 2 of them leading to goals. He's on loan at Dundee, having a very successful loan spell. I'm very happy with how that's gone. Hopefully he can continue his development and come and challenge Bain next year, because Bain does want a pay rise, and I would love to be able to give it to. I'd love to be able to just say, no, on your bike, mate, and bring in Roddy McCrory with John Donaldson as the backup. Attacking wise, this is what we're looking at. Interceptions made. Now here we go. Actually, let's look at key tackles first. Vincent Sasso, joint second with 11, with Mark Reynolds. Michael Devlin in there as well in 6. That is massive. And then you've got Lee Wallace and James Tavernier slightly further down. But that is a centre-back pairing. Is paying wonders when you look at that. Liam Lindsay, I'm also looking at signing. He's costing slightly too much for what I would like to pay just now. But I mentioned I think it was the last episode, I scouted him. Certainly scouted him at some point, and I actually thought it might have been on an episode, but he certainly caught my eye with his just all-round sort of stats. And yeah, would be fairly happy to pick him up. But as you see, 800k to 1.2 million. When you look 2.5 stars, and he's all the way down here. I probably will try and bring him in next season, because we're going to lose Danny Wilson. He wants to go. He wanted game time, and I couldn't guarantee him it. And to be honest, when you look at that, you can see why I want that as my centre back pairing. Interceptions made. Again, Michael Devlin, 17th with 242, which is, I don't know, and 16 appearances. But right up the top, a little bit in front now of Ollie Cook. 407 interceptions made and 26 appearances. for Vincent Sasso. I gave him a new contract just before New Year, just before the transfer window opened. I believe I covered that in the last episode. If I didn't, I'm sorry, I meant to. And 4.5 million, I still don't even want to lose you for that, mate, but I can replace you for 4.5 million. Greg Taylor with the headers 1. 6.5, 6'5" left back. But 14 million? No thank you. I would love to sign you, mate, I really would. But I'm just not paying 14 million for you. Might try and unsettle him in the summer. But yeah, 14 million is just far too much. A couple of million, yeah, but 14, no. He has an ambition to win the Premiership, so if we win the Premiership in particular, I think we could unsettle him. And as a fullback on support, you can see crossing is his weakness. That's the big worry I have with him, and that's why I don't want to spend silly money on him. But everything else is fairly decent. And then at 6'5" with 18 jumping reach, just another monster in the box, innit? Really. Goals conceded, Scott Bain up there as the number 1 for the lowest, which is good. Scott Fox has overtaken him for clean sheets. That's okay, I guess. Saves held, saves parried, we're going to ignore. So, we're into the Scottish Cup. So, how did we get there? Well, let's go back. The last episode we played Celtic, I think, yeah. So we won after that disappointment against the 9 men. We got 4-0 against Kilmarnock. I brought in Matthew Knox for this game, and I felt that worked. I just didn't have the bottle to keep him in the team. Maitland-Niles worked really well, and so did Jason Holt. Brought Joe Garner back in the next game, which I slightly regret, but he did have an okay game this game. Jason Holt, Garner and Tavernier on the score sheet. 3-2 against Ross County. This was a bit of a shaky performance, to say the least, but we'll take the 3 points. Again, you can see Joe Garner, a 7.0 is not terrible, but not great. Joe Garner scored a penalty here against Hibs. At this point, we could have put daylight between ourselves, Celtic and Hibs, but we slip up. Joe Garner with a 6.6 despite scoring a penalty. That really sums up his afternoon. And the rest of the team wasn't much better. Then we had a 2-0 win against Inverness Cali. Jason Holt and Ainsley Maitland-Niles with the goals, and Keziah Sterling came in for his debut. Joe Garner then back in the team for Falkirk in the first leg of the fourth round. The fourth round, we had to replay the game because Tom Taiwo, I'm going to try and slowly get that out again, but he scored a free kick early. Garner equalised, we couldn't score again. Again, another poor performance overall. Barry Mackay gave a chance in this game, and he got injured very early on, which is unfortunate because I want him to go and get some game time. I did also recall Liam Burt from Motherwell. My staff were saying he should be playing in the Premiership, so that's what we're doing. Jason Holt with a late winner against Dundee. Maitland-Niles picked up an injury here, but again, it was just a stub toe, so it was nothing serious. Barry Mackay is only just coming back now. Then a 3-2 win in the replay against Falkirk. Not convincing, to be honest. I gave Stephen McLean his debut because I've not been convinced with any other strikers, and I wanted to progress. So it was sort of like one of those. I wanted to play Matthew Knox. I think Zach Rudden was back by this stage, and I wanted to play both of them. And I'm like, I just bottled it basically, and Stephen McLean went in for his debut, and he rewarded us with a goal. I believe it was his first ever goal for Rangers, which, given that he broke through at the club's a bit surprising for me. My tongue is twisted, and then we nearly blew up the 3-0 lead. We held on in the end. And then we had Aberdeen. It was 1-1 through a Johnny Hayes unlucky own goal. I would class it as a Garner goal, to be honest, and I wish it had gone to Garner because that would have just gotten him some form going again. It was on target, a shot on target, and it deflected off Hayes and went in. Vico equalised before then getting sent off for a two-footed challenge on Willock, and then Joe Garner rounded it off. So here we are at the Motherwell game. This episode is very long. Let's just get straight into it. Semi Ajayi back from his loan is obviously suspended, so Danny Wilson can take that spot. Do I play Matt Grimes? No, I don't. Let's play João Felix, as I said I would. Let's give Alan Brown a game. He got his debut against Aberdeen. He came off the bench. Oh, I want to play Burt as well. Oh, so sad. I'm going to play Matthew Knox. He played a youth game in midweek before this game. Zach Rudden Cup title can't. Anyone else that we could bring in that I would like to? Joey Barton, no. Cammy Kerr, yes. He's not played since his injury. Let's give him some game time. And I have completely forgot that Scott Bain picked up a cold before this game. Minimum of 2 keepers in the squad. I'm actually not even going to bring on a substitute keeper in. Where's Jack Thompson? I'll bring him in as well for Rossiter. It's a fairly weakened squad, but I don't mind that. We've still got our defensive line of Devlin, Sasso, with Wallace assisting. Everyone else just getting a bit of game time. I'm not even that bothered about the Scottish Cup right now. My focus is now on challenging for this league title and getting a valuable Champions League spot. It'd be so much easier just to go into the Champions League and rebuild the finances than it would be to go into the Europa League. We are favourites, no. Cam. Anything about complacency, because Motherwell are a championship club. I don't actually know how they're doing in the championship. I expect nothing but a win. Okay, passion. I have faith. I have faith, and I have some faith. So yeah, overall, I think where we're at, we need to get to the Champions League this year, just purely because everyone's wanting this wage rise, and I'm not sure we can afford it to give everyone that wants it a wage rise. And I don't really want to give up the likes of Tavernier and Bain for very little money. At the same time, I could probably replace Tavernier for about 4 million with a direct replacement in Callum Patterson, and then we just need to find a free kick taker. We've got one in the squad this year with Pereira, obviously not playing today. Liam Kelly with a good save early on, but I'm not sure where I want to go here. Like, I wanted to develop youth early on, and I've sort of not done that, and I'm now trying to do it, but at the same time we're now in a title fight, and I want to play Matthew Knox, I want to play Zach Rudden, I want to play the 2 Thompsons, and I want to play Cammy Kerr. But the problem is, we're in a title fight, and if I play them and we lose a game because they've made a mistake, and then we lose the title because of that mistake, then I feel a bit daft, because the development of that one player is not worth more than the Champions League for next season. Good tackle from Devine. Motherwell looking feisty here, to be honest. They're obviously, I'd imagine they're running pretty good in the Championship, to be honest. And we're obviously running a second string team, which is probably a lot of League One at best players right now. Certainly Alan Brown, I think, is. Jack Thompson certainly might be. Well, they might be Championship now, I don't know. But again, League Championship at best against a Championship team isn't ideal. Hopefully, let's have a look at the stats. Have we actually done anything in this game? 3 shots, 2 on target, none have highlighted. We've had 1 half chance apparently. I don't remember seeing that. They've had 2 clear cuts. That's a bit worrying. So let's get back to the team talk. Let's give them a dressing down. It's a youth team, so let's try and get them back. Can't get him back. Liam Kelly, can I get you back? Yes, I can. Anyone really not playing well? Matthew Knox, 6.5. Sorry to think it's me playing an advanced striker has been a part of the issue. Well, advanced forward, sorry, but it worked so well last season. It worked so well at the start of the season. Maybe teams have just adapted to it. I don't know. We'll bring on Sterling. I think he should be on the bench. Yes, he is. So KZ Sterling. I will go on my team talk. I don't normally do this. Go out there and make the difference. You can be the difference sort of attitude here. And hopefully we can get a result. Alan Hutton playing for Motherwell, though. I just spotted in the commentary there. That's interesting. Any other subs we can do to change this? Let's make our midfield subs actually. Let's bring on Andy Halliday for let's bring on Andy Halliday for Alan Brown. And let's bring on Pereira for Felix. Actually, Willock's tiring, but although Felix is looking complacent, so let's go with Pereira for Felix and give Willock the game. And we'll go overload for the last 20. Try and sneak a win here. Poor performance. This is what I mean. We've just we've almost been toothless since McGinn got injured, and it's not a good toothlessness. Oh, it's supposed to, it falls to Maitland-Niles, and it's in. Not really sure what all happened there. We're going to get off overload and go control again. I need to see the replay to really see what happened here. So Wallace had it sort of bubbled about. Halliday to Willock. He shoots, it deflects into the keeper, who saves it onto the post and falls for Maitland-Niles. A bit of an absolute cluster. But yeah, trying not to swear on YouTube and realise I started to swear there. Good ball across, but Sterling's not read it, and when he eventually got there, he hit it straight at the keeper. Really should be doing better there. Should have read it in the first place, to be honest. I did have a look at signing another striker in the window. I was linked with Ashley Barnes, and I thought, that'd be an interesting move. Scouted him. Scouts were like, yep, this would be a good move, and then they recommended me all the type of forward he could play, and I don't want any of them. Strike from Pereira, I don't know if that's going to count, because I think Sterling was offside there. He was behind Watt, and it hit Watt to go in. Yeah, if you look, Sterling's phasing through Watt, it hits Watt. It looked offside originally, but he's literally just ghosting in and out of the player. 2-0 lead right now, we'll take that. It's been a poor performance overall. But this is kind of what I mean, but we've been grinding out results, not playing well, but getting a result nonetheless. And I suppose that's a positive, because it means we can grind out results, which is a sign of a good team. But at the same time, I don't like this grinding out results, because every game feels nervy. You come in just knowing that you're struggling, and it's not good to be struggling. Like, particularly our strikers, like, when you look back there, I think Garner had 2 or 3 goals in like 2 months or something like that, and it's just not good enough. And Matthew Knox had 1, and that was like our 4 striker goals for like a 2-month period, and you need your strikers chipping in a bit more than that. Overall though, this is a good result. Sorry for a slightly longer episode. I went into the stats a bit more than what I meant to. But yeah, thank you very much for watching anyway. If you liked, a like and subscribe would be absolutely fantastic. And in the meantime, I will catch you next time.